Good morning, everybody. Just adjusting the camera. This staff studio on YouTube doesn't let you see the image before you start, so I don't even know if the camera's in the right place. Anyway, good morning. It's Monday. Happy Monday, everybody. I hope your mojo is flowing. If not, I hope it will get flowing by the time we finish today. Problem with this is, I look at the screen, it looks like I'm looking down, and if it's too low, you can't see my head. So let's try this. I go lower, and then easy. There you go. Oh, I am good, thank you, Skadja. Thank you for being first in, as always. Good morning, Belle. How are you? See your beautiful beads looking absolutely fabulous. I can't wait to see them come to life in jewellery. Good morning, Jane. Hair looks lovely today, Jem. Dyson Airwrap. Yes, of course. Yes, usually I wash my hair in the morning, but I tell you what, we can't get this saga right in this house. So we didn't have hot water for a while. Do you remember? Because we didn't have heating and hot water for a while because the heating went down. And now we don't have a shower because something's gone wrong in the switch, so it won't switch on. So I had to have a bath, and I don't do baths. I just never have a bath. I find sitting in a bath quite boring. However, I had to have a bath, and I thought I'm not going to have time to do that in the morning. So I had to have a bath, wash my hair last night. Of course, it's just not right. It's just not the same. But thank you. I'm glad it looks okay. I had to work extra hard. And yes, the air wrap is amazing. Oh, I tell you, I nearly had an accident with that though the other day. You're good. Good. I'm glad, Isabel. Good morning, Linda. Good morning, Lynn. Good morning, Marjorie. How are you all? Yeah, so we're having a tap fix on the weekend. No, complete coincidence, which is bizarre. So so I thought maybe I'd fused the shower because I tried to put it on and I didn't realise the water was still off. So I thought I'd fused it. So I went and thought, well, it just needs to reset. So turned the electric off, took the thing off the shower off the switch, and opened it up. But and opened it up and then realised it's broken, so can't fix it. Needs a whole new thing. Good morning, Francis. And then the electricity was still off because we thought we'd leave it open to photograph it and then put it back on and then put the electricity on. Anyway, in the meantime, I'm getting ready because I had a baby shower to go to on Saturday afternoon. So I'm getting ready and the electricity is still off, but I'm just putting makeup on, whatever. And went to use my hair wrap and realised, oh, electricity's off. So I just put it back in the box. So like it's got a box, you can just put it in. So I put it in the box. Anyway, I commented to Chris, said, oh, stupid, I forgot that it wasn't on. So I'll have to do my hair in a bit. Can you put the thing back on? So outside having a cup of coffee with the guy that was fixing the tap and just getting ready to go. And I came in to turn the lights out and quickly just touch up my hair. And I thought, what's that noise? When we put the electricity back on, the hairdryer, I hadn't turned it off. So it was just hot. Oh, the inside of the case melted. I think we were about 2 minutes off having a fire. So it was really lucky. And luckily the air wrap is still working because it was so hot and all the box melted, all the, not melted, but all warped. All the inside of the box was warped. Gosh, so easy done, isn't it? Lucky escape. Good morning, Mandy. Good morning, Mary. How is everybody? Don't forget to vote for your boxes today as well. So box 1 to 10. So if you haven't joined us before, Monday is all about me telling you what I'm up to, what's coming up, sharing any insights and tips. I can answer questions if you've got any questions for me. But also we do a mystery mini make. Number 3 for Skadja. So mystery mini make. Here are, don't show you too much, 10 boxes. And in each box is a little demonstration that I will show for you, depending on how many votes they get. So Scad just has started us off with a vote for number 3. Okay. 7, 8, 9 and 10. So 1 for number 3. Lovely. Thank you for the love hearts. The any emojis, not emojis, reactions you can send really just helps with the stream and helps with options for later for us. So I'm hoping to have a subscription channel at some point where you can subscribe and come in for weekly, monthly workshops, demonstrations, all that sort of thing. So the reactions really help tell YouTube that it's a good channel and people like it. So, and then it helps with the rhythms and it helps unlock things for opportunities for me to provide for you at a later stage. So please carry on with the emojis. I really appreciate them. Thank you very much. Good morning, Isabel. You always unplug. Well, I usually switch off at the wall when I finish doing my hair, but of course I'd just gone to do it and then the electricity was off. I thought I'll come back to it. And then, yeah, so yeah, I do usually flick off at the wall, definitely. I don't unplug, but I do flick the switch off. Right, number 7 for Jane. Good morning, Jane. And number 3 for Mandy. And number 5 for Marjorie. Bogner, hello. Finally back from Poland, so I can join you after a month. Oh, it's lovely to have you back. I hope you had a lovely time. And number 3 for Isabel. Wendy, good morning. And good morning to everybody, every lovely Mojo. Joining you whilst getting ready for work. Could I choose number 3, please? You could. Well, number 3 is flying ahead. And number 4 for Bogner. Great. Loads of votes in today. Hello, Leslie. Number 3 for you. Crikey. And a number 3 for Lynn. What's in box number 3? It looks like it's flying ahead. Okay. Linda, loved making the earrings on last week's mystery make, but unfortunately lost one down the high street. Yeah, I just saw that on Mojo this morning. What a shame. But at least you know how to remake them, and that's the main thing, isn't it? But yeah, so I put a link, Linda, to those little rubber earring backs. This kit, the $4.99 is on Amazon. So yeah, if you are somebody that loses earrings a lot, dangly ones, I do, particularly in the winter when you've got scarves on and you're whipping your scarf off all the time. These are really great because you just get these, you get a variety, a selection of different types. You get these tiny, they're so tiny you're not gonna be able to see them, tiny little silicone tubes that you can just slot onto the back of your shepherd's hook earrings, and they just stop them from falling out. And number 3 for Francis as well. So they're really good, but also the ones I like, because I like quite heavy materials. So I love, you know, I love my copper and big gemstones. If I'm making earrings that are quite heavy, then these ones are really good because they force the ear to, they sit flat to the ear, because they've got this wide section, and it sort of stops them from, you know, pulling your earlobe down. So they're really good. I use those ones a lot. But yeah, if you're making your own stud earrings and things like that, then these are invaluable. And $4.99, it's like 1,000 or something in there. It's loads. So I put a link on Mojo earlier under Mary's post, because she'd lost it. Mary, did you vote for number 9 for Mary? I missed that one. I got the others, Jane. Yeah, the ones I want. Yeah, they're really good, really useful. But yeah, oh, I'm sorry you lost one though. It's annoying, isn't it? Hope you've got the same beads. But I love seeing Mary every week has a go at the mystery mini make and evolves it and turns it into something. And I love seeing what happens. I love seeing the results. So please share if you do use the mini make, then please share what you made with it. It's lovely to see. What am I reading? Just to also to mention, on Friday was the first Gemma Crow jewellery surgery, or Gem's jewellery surgery, and I honestly, I was just absolutely buzzing from it. It was so lovely. It was such a nice day. And thank you to those of you that have sent me lovely feedback and tips for perhaps doing things differently next time. It's an evolving process, and so I think I'm not going to change much really, just more the more sort of grouping the tutorials. So so a bit more scheduling really, so that if you do want to pop in tonight, you're not going to miss your bit. But for those, most people stayed all day. And Wendy didn't, but Wendy got on with her challenge and was the first to finish, and she was very efficient as always. But yeah, so how it started is there were 10 of us in, and it was a lovely group, lovely diverse skill set as well. So we had some wire workers, polymer clay, Belle, people that work with metal. We had Helen, who does more sculptural pieces and garden outdoor pieces as well as jewellery. Lots of wire people. Yeah, nice diverse skill set anyway, and different levels as well. People at different levels in different stages of their jewelry making journey. So it was a really lovely group who could all support each other. And we started with a dice challenge, which was really great. So anybody that didn't have a project that they were working on, yeah, I wish you could have stayed longer too, Wendy. So if you didn't have a project you're working on, you could work on the dice challenge and get hints and tips with that on the way. But most people brought a project with them that they were working on, and then sort of got some hints and tips for that as they were working. And then everybody brought a little problem that they had. So we had bead shape problems, drill hole problems. We had a demonstration on coiling and even coils. What else did we have a demo on? We talked about prong setting. Somebody had a problem setting one of their prongs. I can't even think what else we did. We did so much. I'm looking around my desk to see if I can see the evidence of what we did on that day. Oh, we had advice and guidance if you were starting to teach yourself. Pricing. The chat was lovely. Also, Belle gave us a lovely run through of what she was doing with her polymer beads, which we were all fascinated by. So Linda, Belle was the doctor for a while as well, like a locum. So yeah, it was great. It was great to sort of answer questions and talk about what each other are doing as well. So really lovely day. Yeah, still got some beads. Good. So that's good, Linda. Wendy said she really enjoyed it and wished she could stay all day. So Wendy didn't stay all day, but came in for half day, got her questions answered, enjoyed a bit of a catch up with students that perhaps she hasn't seen for a long time, because of course we used to get together in person quite a lot. So I had a catch up with some old faces, met some new people, and also sort of formed an alliance with Helen to talk about their impending journey into teaching, which is really nice. So they made a support network. Belle is now going to be supporting Abby with her polymer clay journey, and so it was just so lovely. I couldn't have hoped for a nicer first surgery, and I was so excited. I immediately put in the next one on the website and scheduled it and put all the info up. And so the next surgery is on the 25th of April, and the plan for now is to do them monthly. I've already sold half the spaces. So if you are interested, please come along and join in. It was a lovely day, very how did Helen put it, serendipitous, because it just sort of evolved and grew and became just a lovely day, just a nice day, sat at your desk making, but also having company and advice and help on hand if you needed it. I have been using my gizmo for all sorts of pieces I hadn't finished. Used a coil for one of the crochet pieces, works really well. Brilliant. Yeah, so you've been rolling with it. Yeah, roll with it. Made some really amazing things the other day. It was just so lovely to see all the things that came out of the day as well. People finished stuff and got things. So some people used the time to finish things they'd started on workshops or projects they'd had on hold for a while, and that was really good. Because it just gives you that impetus, doesn't it, to do it whilst you're with people. And it's nice when you finish something to go, look, I did this, because you sit on your own all the time. There's nobody to go, oh, I did this, I made it, it's finished. So it was lovely to every now and again I'd go see somebody holding something up and we'd spotlight and go, oh wow, that's great. So yeah, I can't wait to do that again. 25th of April from 10 until 4. So it's an all dayer. Pack yourself a lunch because I didn't actually leave my desk. Only left my desk once to go to the loo. That was it. It was really great. So, and it's definitely boosted my mojo. I felt just really full of energy and creative and inspired as well. But this week, I haven't managed to use that energy with jewelry making, but I have used it with Chris, because Chris, my husband, has had his first sort of project for his new garden design business. So he's not finished work yet, so he's doing it sort of in his own time, and it's I suppose it's more of a freebie than anything else, because it's for a good cause. So the home that I work at has a bistro area, and it has a lovely garden, honestly, really beautiful garden. But there's one area of it that's a little bit uncared for, just a bit nothingy. You know, the rest of the garden's beautiful, lovely planting, but this one area just outside where the bistro, so we have like a cafe area on the back of the home, and then on that outside of there's a patio where you can take a drink outside, but there's no planting in it. It's very plain, quite boring really. And so we have a competition, an internal competition with all of our homes, called Hamberley in Bloom. And so I spoke to Chris about it, and he got all excited. It's like, oh, I'd love to do that as a project, a sensory garden, because obviously a lot of the residents that live there rely on other senses, other than, so some people have failing hearing and some people have failing eyesight, some people have mobility problems. So there's a lot of challenges to think about there, but also how to make it beautiful for guests and visitors and family members, and have things to engage in. So for me, I'm bursting with ideas because, you know, I'm all about the engagement and the experience of being in that space, and Chris is all about the flowers and the landscaping and the planting, and I've no idea about that. So we joined forces together and did a whole plan. Chris obviously, because he knows, like, you can't have that, Jen, because it's poisonous, and he knows all about sensory gardens and what they have in them. And so yeah, so our creativity was joined together. We had such a lovely time, like throwing around ideas and being excited about that. And it made me think about something that I would share with you. Well, let me just read this. Had a great time on Friday, finished off my bracelet from Thursday. I've been thinking of a design for a necklace. I had lots of advice and ideas. The piece is progressing. I can't wait to see that finished. I can't wait to see that finished, that paisley piece, and I can't wait to see it with that dress. It looks amazing. So yeah, it was absolutely gorgeous, your piece, Mary. Yeah, a bit unloved, Wendy. That's right. This space is a little bit unloved. It's just functional, but we can make it beautiful. So, but I was thinking about when we were designing and putting it together, actually the driving force and the thing that made it exciting was thinking about the experience that people that view it are going to get. And I thought to myself, you know, that's the same with creating things for people, isn't it? If you can hold on to that feeling of how it will impact the user, or the wearer in our case, it's such a great feeling. It's like really lovely and really inspiring. It makes you want to do a really great job and really understand what their needs are, and why so if you're taking a commission, why, what are the needs, what emotion are you going to be fulfilling, or what need are you going to be fulfilling for that person? So if somebody commissions a piece of jewelry, it's usually for a reason, isn't it? An occasion or a birthday, or it's reminiscent of something, it marks a milestone, something like that. Sometimes it's just purely because that person loves your work and wants a piece made by you, and has an outfit in mind for it. But yeah, holding on to that feeling of why the piece is being created, not what you're making, but why. That's a really inspiring, uplifting thing to keep a hold of when you're doing it. And the same, I suppose, with teaching. It's that same thing. You have complete connection with your students, and you understand where they want to travel, and if you're able to help them with that journey, it's just a great feeling. So yeah, I don't know whether that resonates with you at all, or you can take anything from it, but I did. I thought, yeah, you know what, that's the thing. And if, I mean, Chris and I were talking, and I said, you know, it's lovely when you get carried away designing plant layouts and schemes, planting schemes, and hard landscaping and areas and things like that. But actually, when you think about how it's going to be used and what benefit it's going to have to the person using it or the family using it, that's really where the excitement is, isn't it? And I said to him that is your USP, really, the fact that you're getting really excited about how this is going to benefit people's lives. It's a very exciting weekend, and gave us loads of exciting and confidence and energy for our next little venture, because we work really well creatively together, because we think of different things. So yeah, it's nice. So then I made him help me with my design dilemmas with my cabochon. And he did, but he gave me advice I didn't want to take. So there you go. That was that. Morning, Tony. I'll forgive you for calling me Emma. It's fine. I know it was a spelling mistake. And we had a wedding card from like a distant cousin on Chris's side, and it said congratulations to Emma and Chris. And I said to him, did you marry somebody else? So yeah, so I had a card, a wedding card to Emma and Chris, or Chris and Emma. Morning, Joe. Yes, it was. I didn't realise. That's all right. I'll let you off, Tony. So don't forget to vote for your box. We've got loads of votes for number 3 today. So if you want to knock 3 off the top spot, you're going to have to vote. I've got lots of mini makes. I was saying I'm running out of mini makes. So I'm going to have to have a little session doing the load, I think, so that I can restock. Every week I'm like, oh, what should I put in that box? We used that one. So yeah. Also, just to let you know, this week's workshops, I don't have any booked in yet for April, apart from the jewellery surgery. I will be putting some in. I'm going to show you what I'm going to put in a minute. Number 4 for Tony. So this week's workshops, I have this one on Thursday afternoon. So this is the lunar eclipse necklace or pendant or charm, because you can scale it up or scale it down. So there's this one. And also on that workshop, you learn this one too. So let me see that. It's cute. So two different techniques, but both about surrounding a bead to create a feature. So really effective in terms of using stash, because it's just one bead, a little bit of wire, and you get these lovely pendants. This bead here was Charmer's Gems, the black obsidian moon. or silver obsidian moons. They're gorgeous. I can't quite catch the light on it. But that's that. So this is a 15mm bead, or 16, 15 or 16. It says in the description. You're doing Thursday and Friday. Can't wait. Yeah. Yeah, Friday's not many spaces left on Fridays. So yeah, book up. I'm on a WI craft day Thursday, chocolate making and flower arranging. Oh, that sounds nice. Chocolates and flowers. I suppose that would be something like Mother's Day going on. Very nice. That sounds lovely. Things you can eat, things you can smell. I've got a week of Mother's Day related activities at work this week. This morning, actually, as we speak, there is a harpist at the home and a vintage sort of tea. So lovely cakes and little finger sandwiches, all vintage teacups that I got from the secondhand shop. And that's happening this morning. I'm not there because I'm here, but that's going on at work this morning. And then this afternoon, I can't remember what I've got this afternoon, but it's all Mother's Day themed this week. And then we've got hand massages and therapists coming in, and lovely opportunities to spend time with Mum at work, which is nice. So lots and lots of things. And then obviously I get to spend some time with my mum on Sunday. And my son's working, so I'll have to visit him. but that's okay. So, you know, when you're planning Mother's Day, I don't know about you, but I always forget that I'm a mum. And I think I get hold of my brothers and sisters and I say, oh, what are we going to do for my mum? What are we doing for mum? And then I forget that my sister's a mum. My brother will have to do things with his children for their mum, for Kel. so I forget that everybody's got mum duties too. And then I think, oh yeah, I'm a mum. I wonder if Tom needs me for anything. do you do that? I forget I'm a mum too. Oh, I don't forget I've got a son, but you know, you forget those things. Yeah, so there's that one and that one. And then on Friday's the big one, the one that I think I've been asked more times for this workshop than any other, apart from the one I'm going to put in April, which I'll show you. And this is the sword workshop. Now you can use a skull, but you can use a different bead too. Somebody asked me, could they use a cabochon? The answer is yes, but there isn't a layer of work to do prior to putting the sword together. But if you have that skill set, then you can. So you probably need to catch a cabochon first in some sort of, I don't know, Viking knit or something like that, and then have it ready and use it. But if you have any questions about that, please get in touch. That's it there. Yeah, there's the sword. And again, you can scale this up and scale this down. That's sort of to scale there. You can see on my neckline, it's not actually that massive. And because of it is a big piece, but because of the shape of it, it's not too dominating. So it's that one. Box number 3, says Joe. Right, 3 is like, it's going to take a lot to knock 3 off the top spot. That was me. What was you? Oh, you asked for this workshop. I normally get something from my oldest, but don't tend to see any of mine on Mother's Day. Oh, another number 3. Gosh, 3 is really popular today. What is it about 3 today? Don't usually get one flying ahead like that. Yeah, so he's kind of cool, isn't he? And then I think once this one, once the workshop's been done for this one already has a home. It's much admired, I suppose, because it's a unique style, I suppose, or a niche style that people really like it. You're going to go number 3 as well, Silver. I think it's a resounding vote for number 3. And I'm very glad you've been efficient with that today, because I actually have a tree surgeon arriving, and I held them off and said, you can't come until at least 11, but I can hear that they're out the back, obviously waiting to start. I said, you can't start chopping trees down when I'm live, so have to wait. Oh, here's so So also let you know as well, tonight there is no I am not live on Instagram with Charmers tonight, but Marie is live from India tonight at 6 on Instagram. So tune in there anyway, because it's bound to be amazing. They're visiting the famous bead wall, and I think you get to see all the amazing beads. I'm not sure about maybe buying as well, I don't know. Yeah, the bead wall. So I should be tuning in to watch it, to see what's there, and hopefully get dibs on a few things that I would like to work with and show you how to use. Lots of buying, yeah, I'm sure there will be. So yeah, so that's this evening. And so because this week they're in India, there's so many lives, there just wasn't room really to put a live from me in. So next Monday I will be back. I have this incredible cabochon. This is the one that I was setting yesterday that had me stumped, because I'm so in love with the gemstone. It's look at that, a tiger's eye. I've never seen anything quite like it. It's incredible. It's gorgeous, isn't it? So it's not quite finished yet, but that's the pendant. And the topic for this week is scale, proportion and scale. So obviously this is my large element, and I'll be showing you sort of what you need to do to balance having a large element like this in your designs. So I have big things. He's beautiful, isn't he? He's really beautiful. But yeah, I pained over it because I love the stone so much. I wanted to just do a very simple setting, but then I was thinking, well, if I do, this is a problem with teaching and demonstrating, is if you do something really simple, it's sort of like, well, anyone can do that, or it doesn't really provide much inspiration because it's been done a million times. It's been done a million times because it looks great. So just like simply bezel setting that and hanging it on a cord would be amazing. But I just thought I'd show something a bit more interesting. And also I've increased the size of it, not that it needed it, just to illustrate the theme that I'm working on. So I've increased the size of it by putting a frame around it, but also I've created some lovely negative space, which I really like. So yeah, as much as I really thought could do nothing with this gemstone aside from put a bezel on it, or put it, you know, prong set it in a piece of copper, that was probably what I would do if I was making it for myself. But I thought, well, what I'll do is I'll mimic the sort of the movement in the piece with the wire. Yeah, so there he is. He's halfway done. Oh, you're in the middle of a tree of life on a 30-inch macrame, 30-inch macrame ring. Oh wow. Oh, that sounds lovely. 30-inch. That's massive. That's enormous. What's that, like that? It's like a hula hoop. I can't wait to see it. Are you doing it in wire? Or are you doing it in macrame? Oh, I'm glad you like it. Isabel and Joe. It's yeah, it's a beaut, isn't it? It looked nice with what I'm wearing today, actually. I should probably put it on my, see, it's a nice big, it's a very big piece. It's quite striking. Ooh, lovely. And because it's really heavy as well, I should be putting it with some citrine, but also some amber to keep the weight down. So the visual weight is high because they're big pieces, but the physical weight sort of minimized. But yeah, that's that one. It really is big. Yes, wire. Yeah, that is a big wire tree. What gauge are you using? I'd love to see it, Jane. We'd love to see it. Okay, so yeah, that's next Monday, which is nice to get ahead for a change. There's loads of other things, but also I've got to work on the opposite scale. So I've got some teeny tiny cabs that I'm going to set. So I'll show you how to do those as well. Right, where are we? it is coming up. What else have I got to tell you? Oh, do you remember I said last week I was inspired by this leaf and I wish I'd taken a picture of it? Well, I found it again yesterday and thought, right, because this leaf, just the colour of the leaves, it's ivy, it's, you know, you will have seen it, but maybe you will have walked past it before and not given it too much notice, too much attention. But what does that make you think of? What gemstones? For me, peridot and garnet. And, you know, obviously the leaf shape's beautiful, but the colours, peridot and garnet, definitely. Wrong way. I'm selling the bike, by the way. Yeah, the colours are so lovely. Well, that's nice as well. Had a really long walk yesterday, and fine, and yeah, look at that. Look at those colours together. Aren't they great? Lovely, aren't they? So can you think of anything else that's making you think of? I'd look, yeah, please do, Jane. So yeah, this just made me think of peridot and garnet. Just that combination of colours. So it's been in my mind to make something, but I don't know what. Yesterday we had a lovely, lovely long walk. Probably about 9 miles. We were walking solid for 2.5 hours before we found a pub to stop at, which is unheard of for us. And I said to Chris, I think that's a record. We have never walked that long without a break, without finding a pub on the way. Yeah, so a long walk because we didn't know where we were. We just kept walking. I thought we'll find somewhere eventually. Anyway, we didn't. So then we started going a different way and then stumbled across a lovely pub called the Swan at somewhere called Swinford, which is just outside of Bath, Keynsham, Salford. There's a lovely, lovely area, and we walked all along the river and then along the rail track, and a big steam train come by. It was gorgeous, really lovely. And the dog is absolutely pooped now because she ran for miles. I mean, if you imagine we walked sort of that long, but she runs here, there and everywhere. So she did, you know, 3 times as much as we did. So she's shattered today, which is nice. Oh, mookaite, yes. Yes, mookaite often has those tones in, doesn't it? Maybe not such the green, but or are you talking about a colour palette? Yeah, mookaite's beautiful colour palette. So yeah, so I took lots of pictures of bulrushes and grasses, just lovely, just thinking about the movement and the layers. Can't help it. Chris gets really annoyed with me. Well, he doesn't actually. He understands what I'm doing. But every 5 minutes I'm stopping like, look at that, look at that. And he finds a wild pansies, which are so cute. I've never seen them before. Like tiny, tiny pansies, sort of the size of your little fingertip. And they're just miniature pansies, just randomly in the field. It's lovely. And there were hyacinths out along the side of the railway track, and the smell was fantastic. It was a really lovely day yesterday. Very inspiring. Hessonite, garnet and sphene, absolutely. Yeah, gorgeous. I did think sphene because that's got that gorgeous limey colour, hasn't it? And perhaps a little bit more more of a tint on it than peridot. Peridot might be a bit too yellowy, but you know, there are more green citrines, like Chinese, not citrine, peridot was much more vivid, isn't it? So we could go with that. But yeah, I'll keep you posted on how it goes. What's this? I was just getting a message in. It might be to do with this. Sometimes. So my mum watches. Hello, mum, if you're there. Everybody send some love to my mum. She needs it at the moment. Did you get the shed garage sorted? Wow. Wow. Sylv, let's not talk about that. We did to some extent, because we got it sorted in terms of got stuff off, photographed it to sell. So we are selling, if anybody's interested, we are selling a 3-wheel, a trike, electric trike. It's been used maybe 3 times in its life. It's absolutely brilliant. It's got a big basket on the back and a shopper at the front. It's really lovely. So we started selling that. We had somebody around to view it, and you know, you have to get everything out. So we've now cleared the garage enough to be able to get things in and out easily. Lots of love to Gemma's mum. Oh, thanks, Isabel. Keep well, Gemma's mum. Best wishes. She's called Sherry, and she will be watching. She just doesn't have a YouTube account, and so she can't comment. So she says every week, I want to say something, and I can't say anything. So I did ask my nephew Jack if he would set mum up on with a YouTube account when he was there on Friday, but obviously not, unless mum's busy. I mean, she might be busy and not watching. But yeah, if you want to send us some love, you can send some little love hearts. Right. Okay, so let's get on with the demo. I'm conscious that the tree surgeons want to start, so I better get on with it this week rather than rabbiting on forever. I put this over to the side, out the way, and we will have a look what box number 3 is. Because I did put some new ones. Oh, you didn't get the new one because I fidgeted them around. We have got a cluster bead. So you might have seen me demonstrate these before, but these are great because you can use any bead you like to create a cluster. And these are sort of chips, like nuggets, smooth nuggets on here. But what's great about this is if sometimes got a design and your design needs volume. So when we're talking about scale, like you couldn't, if you had this strand of chips, you just couldn't use just those to strand that great big pendant because it would be a bit small. So having a few tricks and tips to make your small beads appear bigger and have more volume, then this is a nice trick to do with it. And as we're doing it, we'll talk about wrap loops, head pins, etc., etc. So let's get, oh, I haven't got my beads out. Let's see if I've got some here that I can use. I'll tell you what, I will use some of these because no doubt I will need to use these anyway in my other designs. Lots of love to Sherry from Leslie. Oh, thank you. Thank you on behalf of my mum. Right, I'm going to use these gorgeous little sparkly spinels. Look at those. These are going to make a great cluster bead. I'll just take a load out, and then I will want something for the end, so bear with me. I'm going to get my little, oh no, I keep fibbing, don't I? Bear with me, I'm going here. No, I'm not. What have I got? This is how I organise things, by the way. This is my bag of spacer beads. Very organised. Don't tell me off, Sil. Right, let's have those. Maybe those. Basically, you just, what I'm looking for here is a bead to top the end. So the cluster goes in between sort of 2 beads on the end, and you need those there to stop them slipping off. So I did have some nice saucers in here, but go with what I've got. Okay. Let's get this camera down. Closer, closer, come closer. Ready? Right, I'm going to put my finger over the screen so you don't get dizzy when I do this. You have a bag like that with mine in too. It's terrible, isn't it? Sylvia, very judgmental. I did get some way into organising my my stash, but then I got distracted, and then the move got delayed, and so I stopped. But I do need to get back onto it. I have a month of no work before we leave, so why Why can't I get this staying where I want it? Try that. Yay. Right, now I'll come a bit closer as well. Right then, so we will need, obviously we've got tiny little beads here, so you can use, to make life easier and quicker, you can use head pins. So you can find some head pins that fit. If they're featherweights, that's fine. So I'll do a couple with that, and then I'll do a couple with the head pins that you can make yourself, and then you can decide. So these are really nice and easy. I've got these copper featherweight head pins. They're really fine. It's about a 0.32 wire on there, and then a little ball on the end. And basically we just pick up, oh no, have I picked the worst beads ever to do? So we're going to pick one up and then use your round nose pliers wherever they are. I seem to have lost my round nose pliers. They're going to be right next to me. I know they are. Flaps, cutters. Are they on the tray? Oh no. My round nose pliers seem to have disappeared. Oh well. Now there they are. Just hiding. Okay, so to make yourself a nice wrap loop, I'm going to sort this camera out. Let's focus my camera in a bit better. Hold on. Take off autofocus and zoom in. There we go. Right then. So we're going to just hold above it. We want a tiny little space above the bead to do a wrap loop. So just take the tip of your round nose pliers just above the bead, bend the wire over to the side, and then use the tip of your pliers. We want the smallest loop you can manage on here. So a nice tiny loop around your pliers. Bring it round so you've got a loop like that above your gemstone. Then pop your pliers back in and then take this tail and wrap it round and round. And because it's a fine wire, you want it wrapped at least 3 times to keep it nice and secure. And then you can trim off the excess. Okay, so we'll do that a few times. So I'll do another one. So pop your bead onto the wire. Pop your pliers in the way before you make the bend, just so it gives you a little neck to use, and then put your pliers back in. You make the tiniest loop you can manage on the top of that neck, and then wrap a couple of times. The beauty with using a fine wire like this is it really does the work for you when you pull it round. When you're using a thicker gauge, you have to be a bit neater so that the wraps don't overlap, but with the 0.4 it just bind, or 0.32, it just binds so easily, wraps so easily, you don't have to think about it too much. Okay, so there's a few. Right, so if you don't have any featherweight head pins, let's make our head pins. So I've got some 0.4mm wire. Basically this involves just making a knot at the end. So I'm just going to thread my bead on first. She says thread your bead on, and then you're going to take your round nose pliers and you're going to again use like the top end, the thin end of your pliers, bend it round, okay, like that, so you've got a loop, and then take that tail, So keep it nice and loose. We don't want it too tight here. Take the tail and wrap that around 2 or 3 times. Okay. So you've got basically a little wrap loop there. All right. And then take your bead and push it up. So I'm going to pull the wire and push the bead against that wrap. And as I do, it's going to pull in the loop. So it pulls it in. Did you see that happen there? And then you get a little head pin at the top. And then that's ready to then do your wrap loop. Just here like this. Okay. So we carry on, make loads and loads of these. I think I have some I've done earlier, so bear with me. Now I've got a little tub with some in. I took apart a piece of jewellery the other day and I thought I'm not going to waste all of those wrap loops. So pretty sure. Okay. Oh no, I cut all the loops. Damn. Never mind, keep going. I have a bag. Oh, have you not seen that before, Tony? I know I've showed it a few times, but obviously, if you've not seen it before, yeah, it's a bit of a game changer, isn't it, to be able to make your own? I remember being absolutely devastated when I couldn't find any featherweight head pins or they weren't in stock, and it just, you can't do some designs without a featherweight head pin, can you? So when I learned this trick, it was like a game changer. It's like, oh, suddenly I don't need to buy loads of head pins anymore. And also the beauty of being able to make your own is that you can make them in whatever color you want, because some wires or some findings are a different color to your wire, aren't they? For example, it's hard to find bare copper findings, and so often they stay a different color to the rest of your work. So being able to make your own findings is really valuable. Okay, so we're going to need quite a few of these to make this cluster. I should have thought this through and prepared this box, shouldn't I, really? But that's the beauty of it. That's what happens. It's a mini mystery make, and it's even a mystery to me. So let's do a few more and we can hopefully just see how it works. But you can make as many of these as you like. Oh, didn't do that. So one thing to remember when you're doing your knot, don't kink the wire back as if you're going to do a wrap loop, because that will stop it pulling through. So just literally, it's a nice loose loop, because if you put any kinks in that, it's going to stop it pulling through that wrap. Okay, you don't need those wraps too tight either. You can see I'm just pulling them round, pushing them round rather than pulling them round. Okay, and pull, and then little wrap loop. Oh, that's handy then, Linda. You've run out and now you can make your own. It takes a bit longer, but it's not that bad. I mean, the other way, of course, of making your own is to ball the ends of the wire yourself with a torch, which is, is again pretty simple and straightforward. However, you then have to pickle it and get all the fire scale off, clean it, polish it. Whereas, that's quite a long job, isn't it? So I would rather just do this, unless you've got a machine like a tumbler, a sonic cleaner or something, then that's ideal. You can make loads at once, but I don't have those things, so although they are on my wish list. Right, let's do one more and then see how this works. We'll get an idea anyway of how it works. So last head pin, loose loop, loose wrap. So we're not too loose, but loose enough, not tight. You're not trying to make a beautiful wrapped loop. You're just trying to create a knot. So few loose loops, and then push your bead down so that the little wire end pulls in, and then we'll do the wrap loop at the top. So again, just to talk through that one more time, put your pliers in the way before you make the kink off to the side. Putting that kink in will help you get a loop that sits evenly from top to bottom. So when you put your gemstone on something, it doesn't hang off on a skew. It looks nice and tidy. And then that leaving that little gap there gives you a space to do your wraps in without interfering with the gemstone. So pop it around and wrap. 3 times will be enough, and then just get in as close as possible to nip it off. Right, let's try. Let's see what happens. It's not going to be the fullest of chunky bead, but you can see the effect. So let me get another piece of wire, bigger one. Let's go with 0.8 here somewhere. I'm using my scraps box. I'm being very good. Okay, so we're going to use just a bead to go top and bottom. So I've got a selection of little spacers here. So I'll pop a spacer bead on. You'll always want something at top and bottom to stop the gem falling off. If you wanted to, you could use one of the beads at the top and bottom if you want a smaller look. Will this go on? Is this profile wire? Oh yeah, I've picked up a profile wire. I don't want that. Let's go for is a better piece. Okay, let's go for this. So I will pop one of these on just to elongate it a bit. So pop the beads on, and then you're just going to pick up all of your little wrapped gemstones. Pick them up with the wire. So you're threading them all on. Okay, they're all on. And then finish it in the same way you started it. So another one of these and one to finish it. And then you just sort of wiggle them around until they sort of all tessellate and come out in different angles. Okay, now this one definitely could do with some more beads on, because it's just looking like a bit like a spiky star. I mean, it's cute, but it probably needs some more. And I would be tempted, actually, let's see what this looks like, to use a larger bead at the end to sort of bring it into scale. So yeah, let's even try this. So yeah, using something larger on the end really contains it. So and brings the scale in correctly. Can you see how that makes a difference to how sort of complete or finished it looks? If you look at this one, I've used a pearl on the end of here to just make it feel like it tapers off or works. Let's see if I've got a bigger. I haven't got a bigger gemstone. But anyway, that's how this technique works. So have a play with it. Make some nice clusters. It looks lovely with the sparkly gems, because obviously you can imagine all clustered together. They're really, really pretty, and you get a bit of movement with them as well. So, but I would say make sure when you do this, make sure you push them together and then give them a wiggle around so that they tessellate properly. Otherwise, if they start moving around after you've set your loops and finished the design, then you can get gaps, and then you don't get a cluster. You just get more like overlapping dangles. So yeah, make sure you sort of give them a wiggle round so they tessellate nicely and build that design. And then at the end we'll do a wrapped loop to keep it all in place. So we'll make a loop at the top with that, and then to make that loop central, not off to the side, just take your pliers into where the loop starts, and round those are fine, and then pull it back like that to make it more of a lollipop shape to start with. Okay, and then you can either keep your round nose pliers in there or in the loop to stop it moving, or you can then hold across the loop with some chain nose pliers and then use this wire to wrap around. So we'll wrap, and what I do when I'm doing things like this is I wrap twice just to keep it secure, leave the tail end out, then push my beads up to it and do the other end. Okay, so if I do that now just to show you why, and when you do the other end, make sure you use the tip of your pliers just to give yourself a little bit of a neck to work in, and then tip it over to the side, make your loop just like we did the other side, and then wrap around a few times. Okay, now that that is all secure, then I will finish the other side, and that's because if I keep going here, I might find that I've got too many wraps this side, not enough this side. This way, if you need a few more this side, you can do it. And also, if you wanted to bring that wire down onto the bead, you've got something to push against. So you've got a bit of resistance. Otherwise, when you try and wrap this round without the bead, without it being sort of having that resistance the other direction, you can't get a nice even wrap or even circle. Okay, so hold it steady, then wrap round, and then trim it off, and then the other side. Oh, they've started. Can you hear them? They must think it's close enough to 11 o'clock. Is it 11 o'clock? Oh, 2 minutes past. They really did only give me till 11, didn't they? So there you go. That's how you do it. This isn't the best example, but the more on there, and you would see how lovely that can be. It's interesting though. Still quite an interesting dynamic shape, isn't it? If you want something a bit unusual. Okay, right. I am going to cover you up, move you back. For some reason, you have to turn the camera up the other way when you do this. It doesn't like facing, because when I do Zoom, it just changes itself. It's easy, but with this one, it doesn't. Right. Oh, okay. Oh, you see top of my head. There you go. Right. No, down a bit more. Down a bit more. There you go. Okay. Oh, thanks for all the love hearts. Is that you, Sylv, or is everybody doing it? I've got a bit of wire in my drink. Oh, you're welcome. I hope that was useful. And add a little bit of something else in your sort of repertoire when it comes to making those design decisions, and you need to make a bit chunkier, then that's a technique that you can use. And also hope the featherweight head pin trick is obviously useful for some of you. Okay, right, I'm going to go because they are chipping, and today I am standing in. I'm covering at work, so I do have to go to work this afternoon instead of sitting here making for the rest of the day like I usually do. So I will see you hopefully. Well, I'll see lots of you on Thursday and Friday for the workshops. Other than that, enjoy all the India lives. I mean, there's so many. I can't wait actually to see. I'm dead jealous that I'm not there. Maybe next time. You never know. Yeah, I can't wait to see all the goodies. And if you see anything you think I'd like to see Gem work with that, then make sure you let Marie know, because she is shopping with me in mind this time, which is exciting. I wonder what she's going to choose for me. I bet it'd just be big and irregular. That's generally what I like to use. Oh, I tell you what I was going to tell you, just in case you're interested. The workshop that I've been asked to put in, lots of interest in it, is Milliput. So has anybody used it? Do you like it? Are you scared of it? Do you know its potential? It's wonderful. So where is, got a little, this is the sort of fine detail you can get with Milliput. Can you see her? So this is one that I started working on a few years ago and have never finished. You know, when you think, oh, I like her, I don't want to do anything more. But yeah, that's one of my Milliput pieces, but it's brilliant. You can set gemstones in it. It's the sort of a cross between a glue and a clay, and it's amazing. And the results are things like my box here. So this is one workshop that I do, these sort of masks. Ooh, making this sort of Aztec-y style masks and things like that. It looks like, so a lot of the work I did with it is I did like a faux bone workshop, so that you can make elements that look like carved bone. So this is you see the texture of it's gorgeous. It feels amazing. It feels like I don't know if I can hear it. It's hard. It's hard. It's not like polymer clay. Here's one. These are beads that I made using Milliput. Ooh, what's going on in the chat? I have an idea for a wonderful. Oh, don't leave us hanging, Jane. You're interested? I think I'm going to put it'll be a full day because we have to have drying time. I make these bird skulls. So let me know. You're interested in doing a bone one, a faux bone, or a cab setting, because you can set cabochons with it, make beads with it. You can do lovely paint effects on it. It's love. It really is just lovely to work with. You can set things into it. So it's like all the opportunities that you get with polymer clay, except you can actually it's actually sticky, so things stick to it and in it and on it. This is one I made with bubble wrap, so you can put impressions in it. You can use it in molds. What else have I got in here? Stick stuff in it. Oh, a little teddy bear. Oh, little teddy bears. There's all sorts in here. Some willow stick baguette cut crystals into it. This one, sticking wire into it. Making twisty things, sticking beads in it. This is fun. Oh, right, anyway, lovely to make your own beads. Yeah, cab setting would be good. Not a wonderful, a wand. Oh yes, a wand. I thought about that the other day. That's exactly what we should do. You're interested? Okay, right. Well, I will put it on. It will be next month. I'm only doing probably about 2 workshops next month. I've got a lot going on, a big month. Need to spend more time with family, and I've got to get packing. So yeah, so there's a lot to do next month. So I'm only doing a few workshops, but I thought it'd be nice to do something a bit different. So I will be popping in one of these workshops, Milliput. So if you want to get some Milliput in advance, then this is what you're looking for. This is Milliput Superfine White. They have their own website. I'll put a link up. I'll put a link up in the description when I put the workshop up, so you can have a look and get yourself some to work with. It's much more versatile than you think it is, because it was actually made for the plumbing industry it's a 2-part sort of resin then, or 2-part clay that can be used underwater and will still set. So it doesn't need to dry, it sets. And so its uses are, we're born in that first sort of underwater plumbing, so where there's, you know, things like, or fixing things on boats, etc. So that's what it's designed for. But actually, it's so versatile that the craft world have picked it up, and not many people are using it in jewellery. Very few, actually. I've not really seen many at all. So if you are interested in sort of doing something a bit different to everybody else out there as well, Lilliput might be the answer for you. So let me know if you're interested, and keep an eye on the website for workshops coming up, because there won't be many for the next few months because of the big changes and moves. So but like I said, let's start that again. Goodbye, everybody. Have a lovely week. Look for things that inspire you all week, and don't forget to post things that inspire you on Mojo. They might inspire somebody else too. Post all your makes, all your finished pieces, and anything you do with the cluster bead if you do anything. And I can't wait to see you all again very soon. Bye, everybody. Have a lovely week.